So just before we get into this video, guys, I just want to say, if I'm sounding a little bit out of breath today, it's because my asthma has really kicked in. It's because it's summer. It always does it around this time of year. So if I sound like I need to slow down a little bit or I'm a little bit quiet, a little bit dead, it's because of that. Don't worry, I'm managing it. Just need to be careful. But without further ado, Toy Story 5 is finally here. It's directed by Andrew Stanton, and it once again stars Tim Allen, Tom Hanks, Joanne Cusack, and Greta Lee. And in the long-awaited sequel to Toy Story 4 that everyone was clamoring for, when Bonnie receives a LilyPad tablet as a gift and becomes obsessed, Buzz, Woody, Jessie, and the rest of the gang's jobs become exponentially harder when they have to go head-to-head with an all-new threat. I was really concerned for Toy Story 5. As I mentioned in many other Toy Story reviews, Toy Story is my childhood. I grew up on these movies, especially the first three. Toy Story 4, I went into really concerned, turned out to be a big surprise. So I had that feeling going into this movie as well. If they surprised me once, why can't they do it again? I tell you something, I was so nervous sitting in that cinema. I was the only person in there waiting for the adverts to start. I tell you something, I was shaking. I was so nervous. I just really wanted this to be good. And I'm so happy to say that Toy Story 5 is another big surprise. Now, I will say, out of the 5 mainline films, this is my least favourite, but that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It's still a really great movie. But I'm going to list off my issues with the movie right away. So this movie is split into 3 plot lines. You have the one with Jessie, you have the one with the other toys trying to find her, and there's this other subplot with these high-tech Buzz toys that are washed up on an island. Now, they don't realise that they're toys, harkening back to Toy Story 1 and 2. And I get what they're doing there. I know they're high-tech. It's trying to show a different perspective of how toys can be upgraded as well. But I just think by the end, their reasoning for being in the movie wasn't really satisfying. They do something towards the end, and the post-credit scene is really focused on them. But other than that, it's just nothing substantial. They do have some funny moments, I'll give them that. Like, it wasn't a boring plot line. I don't regret that it was in this movie, but I just don't think it added a whole lot to the story. I also had a bit of an issue with the animation of this movie. I think this is a downgrade from Toy Story 4's animation. Toy Story 4, one of the best looking animated movies I've ever seen. Everything looks so realistic, but very cinematic and animated at the same time. Toy Story 5 tries to go too realistic, and that is an issue that Pixar has had for many, many years. And it really affects this movie's animation because everything looks really real. It looks like you could pick it up right now. But it just doesn't match the animation style for me. And I do think things such as the shadows, the lighting, was so much worse than what it was in Toy Story 4. The lighting and everything just looks so flat in this movie. Like, there wasn't a lot of effort to try and make this cinematic. There are some nice shots here and there. But overall, compared to Toy Story 4, it's just night and day. And this was an issue I had with Toy Story 4 as well, where the other characters don't really have a lot to do. That is something that really affects this movie. Characters like Rex, Ham, the Potato Heads, just don't have anything to do in this movie. In fact, I think Ham, who is my favourite side character in Toy Story, has a whopping 2 lines. Even Forky, who is one of the main characters in Toy Story 4, does nothing in this movie. And you think that his wife would do something as well? Nope. She doesn't need to be in this movie as well. I also think that's the case for Woody as well. Now, I was very, very concerned that Woody was in this movie. I was so worried that they would ruin the ending of Toy Story 4. Thankfully, they don't do that. His reasoning for being in the movie is not the best, but it doesn't ruin the ending of Toy Story 4. If anything, he's just there because, oh, Woody, yeah, you like Woody, Tom Hanks, way. I don't hate that he was in this movie, but I also didn't see a reason why he should have been in this movie as well. Toy Story 4 was the Woody show. This one is the Jessie show. Now, I did say before this movie came out, I was excited to see that Jessie was the main character because I do think making her the main focus is a really, really good idea. And I do think this is where this movie starts to get really, really good. I loved Jessie's character arc in this movie. She is essentially a racist. I'm not exaggerating. She hates technology. She hates iPads, anything that has some sort of screen on it. She absolutely loathes. She thinks they're going to bring the end of toys. And you understand why, because she has now been personally affected by LilyPad, who, can I just say, a brilliant villain. I'm going to get into her later on. But what I really, really liked is that she has to face her past. We go back to set pieces from Toy Story 2, back to Emily's farm and her house. Of course, a really emotional setting for her. But I really, really loved the lesson that she learnt throughout those set pieces, especially in one scene, easily the most emotional scene in the movie, probably in all of Toy Story as well, I'd go as far to say. She sort of has the same arc that Woody had in Toy Story 2, where he learns like, yes, my kid is growing up, but I'm going to enjoy the time that I have with him. That's what she has with Bonnie in this movie. And it also ties into the technology aspect really, really well. Of course, she believes that technology will diminish toys' reputation. They think they're just going to take over the world and brain rot kids. And of course, that is what is essentially happening in the real world, unfortunately. But I really, really loved this movie's approach to technology. It could have easily gone down the route of iPads, TVs, smartphones, boo, boo, get rid of them, get rid of them. It doesn't do that. It takes a sort of neutral stance. Toys are for play, but tech is for everything. That's the line said in this movie by Woody. And that is very, very true. But what I do like is that, yes, tech is for everything, but it cannot deliver that really, really effective personal connection with someone. Toys can do that very, very well, in-person connection. So you need to find that balance between toys, human connection, and time with technology. And I really like that that movie is sent to everyone, not just kids, because this movie showcases adults on their computers as well. And I've seen a few videos criticizing that, especially from parents. There was one especially where he said, oh, I find this quite offensive that why are all parents on iPads and ignoring concerns from their children? That's not realistic. That's really, really diminishing for a parent. And I get what you're saying, because it's not all parents. But unfortunately, there are some parents out there who rely on the internet to raise their kids. They just sit them in front of an iPad and just let the internet raise them. That is something that a lot of parents do. Maybe you don't do it, and if you don't do it, fantastic. Keep that up. You're a great parent. But unfortunately, it's the world we live in. So making a commentary on that, I thought was really, really good. I also think the movie did a great job at making technology sympathetic as well. There are a few characters that you can feel something for, especially the villain, Lilypad. You understand where she's coming from because she just wants the best for Bonnie. She thinks toys are obsolete now. They need to move on with the times. The sympathetic side of technology is also shown through the character Smarty Pants, a toilet trainer played by Conan O'Brien, who, by the way, was really, really good in this movie. Easily my favourite new character. And his character is meant to show that technology evolves over itself as well. It's not just toys that are being obsolete. It's older technology as well. So everything with Jessie I thought was fantastic. I really loved the journey that she went on. And the commentary on technology was really, really strong as well. There's also another main plot line, a little subplot with Buzz Lightyear. Now, we've always known from Toy Story 2 that he has a really big crush on Jessie. And I just love that this whole plotline came about because of a stupid boner joke in Toy Story 2. And it's really cute. It's really cute to see that Buzz is trying his best to get with Jessie. And I am so thankful that they fixed Buzz in this movie. In Toy Story 4, he was an idiot. No word of a lie, he was a right idiot. But in this movie, he's smart, he's brave. Immediately, he goes out to save his friends. So they do fix Buzz Lightyear, so thank you. So I love the character work overall. Even Bonnie was really, really good. She has a good arc of accepting that you can play with toys and technology at the same time. And they put it on the backdrop of her not being able to make friends, something that I really relate to. I use social media a lot to try and make friends, but I've soon come to realise that the greatest connection is to do it in person. You just got to go out there and try. Now, the film technically is really, really strange. I've already mentioned the animation. The music sounds great. It's really, really good. They use some of the old classic Toy Story theme songs. However, why they didn't bring Randy Newman back to do a new song, I don't know. I would have loved to hear a new song from him. Instead, we get a Taylor Swift song. Now, I'm not going to delve into my thoughts on Taylor Swift a lot. Let me just tell you that I don't really like her music that much. But I will say her song at the end of this movie is okay. It's okay. It was nothing special. It was passable for me. If I am going to give the animation one thing, though, I do appreciate that they changed the animation style at times, especially when we go into a child's imagination. And thankfully, with their new movie Gatto, they're changing the style a lot. So it's nice to see that Pixar is now embracing new animation styles. And finally, I do think the voice acting in this movie was really, really strong. The main cast return, they are really, really good in this movie, especially Joanne Cusack, who plays Jessie. She was really, really good. She got her time to shine. You could tell she's getting a bit older. Her voice is changing quite a bit, but she's still really, really lively as the character. Tom Hanks and Tim Allen managed to bicker a little bit more in this movie. We get to see him and Buzz start to bicker a lot more and fight. Nice little throwback to Toy Story 1 there. And I do think Greta Lee as Lilypad, she was really, really menacing in this movie as well. So overall, I thought Toy Story 5 was another fantastic entry into this franchise. It has a fantastic commentary on technology and how we need to find a balance between that and personal connection. The character arc that Jessie, the main character, goes through was really, really strong. It was funny. The animation at times was good. The music's really good. The voice acting's great. It's just another solid entry into this franchise. And surprisingly, I do think that if they announced a Toy Story 6, I'm a little bit more open to it. I mean, you've surprised me twice. Maybe you can do it a third time. Who knows? But if they don't announce it, I'm not going to be too heartbroken. So Toy Story 5, another great entry, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. And there we go, people. Those were my monthly Toy Story reviews. I hope you all enjoyed. That's not going to be the final video. I am also going to be ranking all six Toy Story movies in a video coming up in the next few days. So make sure to look out for that. But I hope you all enjoyed this video and this series, guys. Have a good day, and see you later.